All right. Well, again, good morning or good afternoon, depending on your time zone, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. My name is George Zarepsky, and I'll be hosting the webinar on behalf of MCP Networks. I'll be introducing our speaker and my co-founder, Mike Perea, here shortly. So I want to get started with a little bit of background on us. Our company is veteran-owned, and we're based out of Fargo, North Dakota, which is known as the Silicon Valley of the Midwest. We started writing software for our platform in 2015, and we founded our company in 2016. Our goal is simply to make technology simple and easy to use. Mark Perea is the CTO and co-founder of MCP Networks and has over a decade of experience working at a rural ISP here in North Dakota. And finally, before we hand it over to him, I wanted to let you guys know that this is going to be recorded. We will be sending out the recording to all the participants after the webinar. So don't be afraid to miss anything if you're taking notes. And this will be an interactive show. So we're going to present some polls throughout. And we ask that you guys go ahead and fill those out while we present the rest of the slides. We hope the results will be useful for everyone. We will share the results immediately with all the attendees. All right, so with that said, I want to hand it over to Mark now. Mark.
Thanks, George. Hi, my name is Mark Perea, and I'm excited to talk to you today about managed router services. As you heard, I'm a co-founder of MCP Networks, but before that, my career involved servicing nearly 50,000 voice, video, and broadband subscribers in rural North Dakota. I really hope you'll find value in this talk today, and most of all, I'd like to hear your feedback and answer any questions you might have. So let's get started. This slide represents the past. I remember when there was a stiff demarc, when printers and thermostats didn't go online, and when a household had less devices in the home than the number of people that were living in it. Back then, if the subscriber complained that things seemed slow, you would check your transport, and way too often, you would generate a ticket to roll a truck. George is going to throw up a poll here, and we'd like to know how many of you billed your customers for those truck rolls. You'll see here, charged every time, sometimes, maybe we lost money. We could buy a small island with the money lost. So then our industry started thinking, hey, what if we put a router out there that someone from our NOC or our support desk can at least log into remotely? That way, we won't have to roll a truck and spend all those dollars. But a new problem emerged. Now, we would need to train our support staff on how to use this new tool that they can log into. So we traded a truck roll for a higher training cost. I would imagine that some of your support calls might go like mine did. Customer calls in to report slow internet, and you look at the levels on the transport and the access gear, and everything looks clean, so you investigate deeper. And after a while, you discover that the pipe is full. So now you know that there's nothing wrong with the service, but you have that fun task of convincing the customer that some device in their home is consuming all the resources. Maybe you tell them to start powering things off one room at a time. Myself, I would head into the NOC and set up some port mirroring, and eventually I'd find the right circuit, discover the MAC address, then do an OUI lookup conversion. And finally, I'd let them know, hey, if you unplug your Roku or Windows PC, I think it'll be fixed. Voila, only 45 minutes to an hour later, the problem's solved. I remember thinking then, there's gotta be a better way.
So Mark, I'll throw the results up here of that poll. It looks like a lot of folks are losing money.
That's too bad. Let's get that fixed.
Yes.
So here's a few things that we think a managed router service offering for home users should include. And number one is visibility into the subscriber's home network. Like it or not, subscribers don't care about a demarc anymore. And if the service works great on their wired PC, but crappy on their new iPad that they just got for Christmas, you know, when they're upstairs in the bedroom all the way on the other side of the house, they blame you for that, and they think it's your problem. It's their perception that has changed. And we're not just providing a pipe anymore. We're providing internet access to every device in their home. So first off, if you can't see every device in their home, you're missing out. We believe that a managed router service should automatically detect all the devices on the network, show you how much bandwidth each of them is consuming, and let you know the quality of the signal if it's Wi-Fi connected. I remember at my last company when a very important customer called in and reported unbearably slow internet. In fact, he reported that half his network would go unreachable across 5 different locations, but it was intermittent and at random times. After hours upon hours, day after day of digging and investigating, the whole time he's swearing at us that it's our service and it's our equipment that must be to blame. We found that the culprit was his printer. It was misbehaving and spewing his entire capacity worth of bandwidth out onto the network to all of his locations when a certain print job was queued. And that effectively took all of his sites offline or brought them to a crawl. But with the proper software, this can be detected in seconds. Let's get another question up here. How long would you guess that it takes you to troubleshoot a slow internet problem on average? 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30? How about an hour plus? We'll give you a couple seconds here and I'll start talking about the next number 2.
All right, Mark, let's hear about your number 2.
So number 2 on the list is self-service. We think there's just certain things that you don't ever need to get called to fix. And reports are that 2/3 of subscribers would prefer to fix something themselves over making a phone call in for support. Password changes, resets, Wi-Fi name changes, setting network priorities, or adding a guest network, device control, and port forwards. Those are all things that internet users would rather be able to change on their own, but only if there's a portal to do so that's intuitive and easy to use. If you look in the marketplace, there's an explosion of whole home, new Wi-Fi solutions like Luma, Eero, and Google Wi-Fi. The appeal of these products is not only in covering the home with Wi-Fi, but also the promise that the user will be able to easily manage their home network, putting them in control. So George, what did you see for results?
All right, let me get these posted out. It looks like under 5 minutes is taking the lead here.
Awesome, that's fantastic. Must be using some good tools. We'd like to hear about those. But on to the next, number 3 on our list, quality of experience. Gone are the households with less devices than people. Today's family network has between 15 and 25 devices online, and as the Internet of Things continues to explode, we're expected to see an average of 40 connected devices per household over the next 5 years. A managed router service should be able to apply policy that allows for the network to behave better with it than without it, meaning that it should be an improvement for the subscriber's experience. We all know that video has taken over as the prominent protocol on all of our networks, and you may have the ability to protect customer A from customer B's video stream. The question now is, can your managed router service deployment stop the Roku from breaking Dad's VPN connection or interrupting a gaming session? I remember this one family came to us for help. Every time the daughter would come home, everything on the network would get sluggish and slow, and no one had any idea why. It was weird, but we figured out what was happening. The daughter had an iPhone and an app like Snapchat, and it was set to automatically download or upload all of the selfies from the day as soon as she connected to the Wi-Fi. These guys had limited upload bandwidth, so whenever the daughter would come home, they got to enjoy 10 to 30 minutes of frustration while all those pictures backed up to the cloud. As an industry, we need better tools to improve the customer's internet experience. So next question, if you have a Procera, Sandvine, or other layer 7 box, say hey. So number 4 on our list, parental controls. Yeah, so there's never been more data publicly available than there is today. That's technologically amazing, but as a parent, it also means that there's never been a bigger need for monitoring, control, and oversight. Kids today have access to a ludicrous amount of stuff, and lots of that stuff is bad. The biggest problem is that you can accidentally get there so easily. If I said we need to do better with QoE, we absolutely need to do better with our kids' time online. We feel that any good managed router service should provide some tools for parents to have control and visibility into what their kids have access to. Not everyone is going to use those tools, but it's more important than ever that we provide them as an option. You know, part of the origin story of this company, MCP Networks, stems from my own need to get whole home parental control. See, I woke up one morning dying of thirst, and I went to get a drink of water from the fridge, and there was this soft glow on the wall in the other room. Thinking maybe I was waking up to a poltergeist movie, crept in quietly, and I could hear the clack of a keyboard and the clicking of a mouse. I couldn't believe it when I found my 8-year-old son was playing online video games because it was 3 a.m. and it was a school night. Right then started my journey to find a solution to block that bad stuff and virtually put the kids' devices to bed when the kids themselves go to sleep. How'd that poll go, George?
Well, that was a pretty compelling story there, Mark, and I think we all might have similar stories like that. But it looks like a 50-50 split here, so we do have some folks using the Layer 7 boxes on their network.
Awesome, and that's a great tool. So next up, our final stop, easy. It has to be easy in every way. Easy to deploy, easy to get started using, easy for the subscribers, even novices like grandparents. And it has to be easy to maintain, easy to provide support, and easy to upgrade. We're still on the last slide, George? There we go. My co-founder, Candace, is our user experience expert, and I've learned to appreciate the simplicity of a great user interface. All too often, I find that UIs are great for me, literally me, the techie who knows what a MAC address is, how to look up OUI vendors, who memorizes IP addresses, and can navigate screens filled with jargon. But users want easy. When a person with no technical knowledge can look at a screen on their phone that says the network is 70% full, and then click a button to find out which device is doing that, that's the kind of easy that we think is imperative to providing top quality support. And ultimately, that's what I think you're selling the subscriber with a managed router service, customer care. Next slide. I just wanted to take a moment to mention the things we think are important going forward. I'm sure you're all aware of the shortage of IPv4, which grows daily. /8s have been out for years, and /24s are becoming scarce. At some point, IPv4 will be truly exhausted, and that will cap new customer growth unless you're V6 capable. I remember the sky was falling in 2009. Asia Pac was the first to run out in 2011, but Aaron didn't run out until 2015. I can't tell you when Aaron will be completely dry, but that day is coming. As we mentioned earlier, the Internet of Things is upon us. Already, hackers are taking control over the weak security of webcams and smart fridges. So security will grow more important, and device management, especially automated device management, will become mainstream. Which leads to learning networks. We're in an age of behaviors. Marketing giants like Facebook, Google, Amazon, they're tracking your every move, and the network needs to also. Not for nefarious reasons, but so that we can do a better job at optimizing services and performance. So here's our final poll. Is anyone deploying production IPv6 to subscribers right now? Maybe you've been there and done that. Maybe you've got plans for soon. Maybe you don't have any plan at all. Let us know. And with that, I'm looking forward to what the future holds. This concludes my presentation, and I look forward to your questions and your feedback. Back to you, George.
Thanks, Mark. So I'm just letting the poll results come in right now. And while they come in, I just want to say thank you all again for joining us. I hope that this was useful information. From our experience and our time working in the field, we realize that the top 5 things to us that we see if you're having a managed network solution is visibility, self-service, quality of experience for the user, parental controls, and ease of use. So we definitely want your feedback. We will be opening the floor to Q&A here shortly. So if you want to stick around and ask some questions, please do. If you have to go, we understand, but we do look forward to your feedback. So when we send the follow-up email with the recording and our slide deck, we hope that you would please take the time to shoot us a message either through our website, social media, wherever, and let us know what you thought about this, or if you have any ideas of your own of things to add, maybe your own top 5. So on the results, I see that we have 100% not yet, but soon. So people are definitely aware of the situation. So again, thank you all for your time, and we do wish you the best in your search for a managed router solution. Take care.